What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Wayne. We back in the building with a pot the balloon of fine love. Let me just get the camera kind of nice and yeah, shout out to y'all. So yeah, we back in the joint with a pot the balloon of fine love, and yeah, let's get to it. You know what I mean? Oh, and I did want to say this. Shout out to everybody who watching my content and stuff. But my bad on the last joint. I gotta get some. I ain't got no extra batteries. Well, I do have extra batteries, but I just didn't have it with me, and they weren't charged. So my camera died. You know what I mean? Nigga can't even be a YouTuber correctly.
You ugly motherfucker.
You have to read this story.
Anyway, you know what I mean? We got the pot the balloon of fine love. So let's get to it, right?
Hello, welcome in. What's your name?
You ugly motherfucker.
My name's Jonathan.
Jonathan, how old are you?
I am 35.
And what do you do?
I'm in sales and design for lighting control systems. So when you think of sporting arenas, any type of commercial space, anything like that, I'm designing the lighting and fixtures behind that.
Wow, that's exciting. What are some things like to do for fun?
So
Shout out
speaking
to
of
you.
sports, I do a lot of sporting events. I live in Georgia, outside of Atlanta area, so I do a lot of Braves games, the Hawks, Falcons, anything like that. You can catch me at any of those games. When I'm not doing that, I have some free time. I like to travel, spend quality time with my family and friends.
Okay. And now, what are some things you look for in a woman?
I need a woman who is ambitious, spontaneous, self-aware, sure of herself. Just loving and caring, things of that nature, when I think about a future and a family, and can communicate effectively.
Okay. And what are some deal breakers?
Multiple kids,
Okay.
Toxic, anyone who is superficial, always putting on a facade for social media or anything like that. So I just need something authentic, genuine.
Nah, I'm gonna speak to that. Because that's what a lot of people do on YouTube, put up a facade. So, yeah, stop putting up facades, you know what I mean? We can catch y'all when y'all do it too.
You ugly
We just don't
motherfucker.
call it out, but yeah, I call out like the fake Christians and the people out here like not trying to get better and do better things with their life. So yeah, shout out to him for mentioning that.
Okay. All right, cool. So we have not. Oh, all right. Let's go on over there. Okay. Your name and age.
I'm Janine. I'm 28.
Okay. Janine, why did you end up popping your balloon?
Again, for a couple reasons. It was the hair. I just don't feel like you take care of it very well. Maybe like pick it out and like use a little sponge thing to add some curls. I think it got a little bit of texture. It was the
You
jacket with
ugly
the outfit
motherfucker.
and the jacket with the shoes. Kind of threw me off a little bit, but it's okay. And then the third thing is you kind of look like one of my cousins, TJ. Shout out. I don't know.
We got some dumbass motherfuckers floating around this country. Dumbass motherfuckers,
Man, I don't know why people would come on here saying you kind of look like my cousin. It don't matter. I'm not your cousin. Like, evidently I'm not your cousin. Like, why pop off of that? That's so stupid. You know what I mean? Are you gonna date your cousin? Like, you're not dating. Like, I don't even know what to say. It's just dumb. You don't look like you may look like somebody or resemble somebody, but it's like you're not even present, in the moment. Like, you're here to date and find love. Like, I may look like your cousin. Okay, cool. And then we get side by side. That nigga look like, I don't know, Damon Wayans or somebody. Like, you know what I mean? But you saying I look like him. Okay. You know what I mean? No diss to Damon Wayans, but you know what I mean? People, man. But this is y'all love, and this is why black community cook. Cookity cooked.
What it is about you, because like it's not that you look like him, but something about you just reminds.
Now, oh my goodness. You just said I look like your cousin. Now I don't look like your cousin. Unbelievable.
Reminds me of him, and I can't really put my finger on it, but yeah.
All right, cool. Now, is she someone that's your type?
not my standard cup of tea, but I mean, you look nice. You look nice. I do like your hair. Maybe you could have helped me with mine, but it's all good.
Thank you.
No
I mean, at
problem.
least he got personality to
She
like.
could have helped you. She does hair.
Exactly.
All right, so we've got 4 ladies left. Go ahead and ask them a question.
I guess my main question is, what are your family dynamics like with your mother and father and just family in general, and how does that play a role or affect your relationships?
Okay, we'll start there and come back.
Decent question, I guess.
Okay, name and age and the answer to his question.
My name is Deanna, and I'm 29. And I have a good family dynamic. I'm close with my mom and my dad. My dad lives far away in Florida, but we're still close. I have a big family. My mom has a lot of siblings. I have 2 siblings myself, so very good, very close.
Over here, name and age and answer to his question.
My name's Brianna, and I'm 26. Also, again, I'm very close to my family. We have a group chat. I mean, we're talking every other day. So, yeah, we're really important. Yeah.
Nice.
Your name and age and the answer to his question.
Hi, I'm Vanessa. I'm 27. So the first part was explain the family dynamics. Then what was the second part?
Just how does that play a role in your relationships and building?
How does that play a role in my relationships? So to start with, I'm very close with my family. I talk with my mom and dad daily, even like across platforms, sending memes on social media and stuff like that. How it plays a role in my relationships, I lean on my family for relationship advice sometimes. Definitely like asking my dad and stuff like that. So maybe how it plays a role in my relationship dynamics, leaning on my family for like consultation. Somebody that has a tribe and is accountable to someone like a father figure or even like a mentor, that's going to be very important for me because that's something that I have for myself.
Nice.
I mean, that's good. Shout out to her for having both her parents. Not a lot of people have both their parents in their life. And that can be drastic, that can cause traumatic things in their life. But, shout out to her for that, fine little sister. But, yeah, man, shout out to her. At least she acknowledges, she talks to her dad about trying to figure out what's best for her. So I ain't got nothing to say about it. Or nothing bad to say
name
about
and
it.
age and answer to his question.
Hi, I'm Ashley, and I'm 26. So to answer your question, Mom, I'm really close with my parents, my whole family. We're all very close. I view, my mom and dad's relationship, like I love their relationship. They've been married for 20 plus years. So I know what it's like to be in a happy home. And that's something that I really want to live like when I'm older and I have my own family. So, they really set the standards for that. So, yeah.
Shout out to her too, you know what I mean?
All right, so I'm going to hand you a pick.
Okay.
There you go. Hang on to that. And I'm going to have you pop 1 balloon. Whenever you're ready, go ahead.
I think he gets the girl on the end.
All right, so why'd you have your balloon unpopped?
I liked everything he was saying. He looks well. The only thing I was just trying to hear more of what you had to say. The age gap. I'm 26. You're 35. 10 years is like push for me, but I wanted to hear you out.
Okay, thanks. And now why'd you end up popping her balloon?
Well, that was the primary reason that I popped, due to the age. So just the age gap. Other than that, yeah. Understand.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Let's head on back over.
I mean, if you wanted somebody older, I guess it don't make it better. The thing about having somebody older is, it doesn't make it better, but it can make it worse. Just from the 4 horsemen and single woman I told y'all about. But somebody older has a higher propensity to have those, that kids lost the opportunity and then trauma. So, but yeah, You don't want no young. If you don't want, shout out to CGA. He would say, if you don't want no young tender, then hey, you know, it is what it is.
We're here. Why'd you end up popping your balloon?
It was just, you know, we do have an age gap as well. You know, I'm 26, you're 35. But you're really nice. Like, you know, I like everything that you said and, you know, the questions you asked. It seems like, you know, you have a lot going for yourself. But, you know, I just don't see us, you know, being compatible and things like that.
Damn.
Understand that.
And what about over here? Is she someone that's your type?
Yeah, I do find her attractive. Oh, yes, I do find her attractive. She is someone that I would talk to, but I understand that.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, we've got 2 ladies left. Go ahead and ask them another question.
What is a fun / romantic date for you?
Okay, we'll start here. What is a fun / romantic date for you?
I would say I'm really social. So I like to get out and kind of be in the mix. So maybe like an art show, you know, where we can talk with the artists and, you know, just kind of enjoy, you know, art in different mediums. There's a lot of things like that in Dallas. So I attend a lot of social networking events like that also combine art and stuff. So maybe going to one of those with my partner. Yeah.
Let's go down.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, and I guess that's a good date idea to do, like something that not most people do. Because I mean, people go on dinner dates, and I don't think a dinner date is what people should do when they meet. You know, because you just talking and you set up yourself for an interview. You know what I mean? If I'm going to be interviewing, I better get a damn job at the end of it. I don't need to go on no interview and get no damn strike out just because I'm talking too much. You know, it needs to be fun, lively, you know, stuff to kind of break up the monotony of, okay, where you live, what you do for a living, where your kids at, you know what I mean? What your homegirls looking like, is your dad and your, like, I don't want that. So just doing different things, you know. So only other thing I would say for a date, if somebody's going to be dating off the rip, is maybe do somewhere like, you know, there's some physicality to it, like you're not rock climbing or something like that, but indoor skydiving may be cool, and then get some food across the street. I don't know, go hiking or something like that, but that may be a little that may be a little too much for a first date, just because you don't know if the girl gonna conk out. You know, and then you don't want to be on no dating or hiking or something like that, and some wombat come out the woods and then bite y'all. You know what I mean? No. That's a no-go. But anyway, you know, it is what it is.
Down over here. All right, let's hear from you.
A fun date would be probably like paintballing or something that I can just be active. You know, we can be active. Romantic, I would probably say just a nice dinner, you know, being able to talk, maybe not having our phones, something like that.
Yeah.
And then,
at least she hit it on the
while
head.
we're here, any questions for him?
You said somebody that has multiple kids. How is somebody with one kid? I do have a child.
I am open to that.
I don't know. That seemed a little skeptical.
Oh, as I stated, it's multiple. One.
So what's like, well, like, you know, what? Okay. I don't know how to
ask it.
Word the question. So yeah, what is it about? You have no kids?
I have no kids.
Okay.
And that's truly the only reason. But like I said, if you have multiple, and that's a no deal. I mean, a deal breaker. But one, you know, I'm open to that. I mean, because I am older. We're getting older. So if you have
And
a
you
kid,
say you're how old again?
I'm 35.
35. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're good?
Yeah, for now. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't block your blessing
All
out
right.
here.
Any questions over here?
Can you answer your question?
As far as both family dynamics or the
Sure,
date?
yeah.
Well, I have a strong family dynamic. Both of my parents are still together. They're actually having their 50th wedding anniversary this year.
Shout out to that, you know what I mean? That's something you don't hear or see a lot of, so. But damn, if they got their 50th, nigga, they gotta be 70 or something. I mean, it makes sense. He 35, parents probably 30, 40 years older than them, so they probably 65, 70. I mean, yeah, shout out to that, you know. That doesn't dictate if they're happy or not, but the fact that they still together, that does mean something. And shout out to Black Love. You know, I would want, like, I married a black woman, but she's from St. Croix, so my girl's from the Virgin Islands, so I got me a Caribbean, you know, girl. But yeah, you just don't see 50-year marriages, so shout out to him, you know. I mean, shout out to your parents, you know. It is what it is.
So, you know, I've had a great example of, you know, structure and what it is to build and grow together. So thankful to them for that. So it just makes me, you know, want that the same for myself. As far as a fun romantic date, I'm a spontaneous guy. So I'm open to everything. First date, you know, I'm more of a traditional guy. Let's, you know, have dinner, you know, maybe do a speakeasy lounge, something like that. You know, if we're together, hey, we can just hop on a jet, plane. Not, I'm saying jet or plane, but we can take a flight for the weekend, or hey, we can get in the car and drive somewhere. So like I said, I love to travel. So it's just spontaneous, and whatever you and I enjoy together, we're going to do.
Man, Arlette, you got the damn ambulance in the back. My man trying to, you know, explain himself and explain this situation. You know what I mean? You got people getting shot, needing emergency services all in the background. Come on, dog.
No.
This studio look nice, but you walk outside this joint in the middle of the hood, nigga. That's terrible. My man, you know, my man swagging up a nice
you
little.
have to read this story.
The finest girl there, evidently, you know, to me at least. He's swagging her up, and you got the ambulance all in the background, man. It's terrible.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. Let's head on back. So we are down to our final two.
Okay.
It is time to pop a balloon. Whenever you're ready, go ahead and pop that one balloon.
And no more questions.
Do you got one, Bruin?
No, just where do you live? I know she said Dallas.
Okay.
Where do you live? Oh.
So you're in Dallas. Where do you live?
I'm in New York.
New York.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's in Atlanta. The first girl's in Dallas. She's in New York. Atlanta to Dallas, I don't know. That may be the same like type. Well, New York is probably a further flight, but even if you're in Dallas, that may be the same amount of time to like get to either girl. But I would go with the Dallas girl. But
And where are you?
Georgia.
Georgia. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Just,
Okay. It is time to pop now.
Okay. Awesome. So I assume no one has an issue with long distance.
Guess
to
not.
start with.
They sure don't.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. So let me have you stand here. Why did you have your balloon unpopped?
I like the things that he was saying and just kind of hearing him out. I kind of was popping soon for everybody. So, you know, just giving him a fair shot.
Okay. Sounds good. And why'd you end up popping her balloon?
I mean, ultimately, you know, it is the one kid, you know.
Yeah,
all that.
rightfully so.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
And I feel bad too, because this, I mean, the people on the internet talk about like women with kids and stuff like that, but it's like, it's a war zone out there. These girls dropping into Verdansk out there with these babies. Trying to get a loadout, get a bounty, you know what I mean? Get a most wanted contract to get a guy to come, you know? It sucks. But hey, it is what it is, you know. That ain't my baby, so I ain't got nothing bad to say, but
Let's come up to the front. Come on up here with us. All right, guys. Any final question between the two of you before we determine if we have a...
she a long leg girl too. You got a nice one on your hand, you know what I mean? Definitely gonna hit her.
Both sides time with the block. Punishing her, nigga. Nigga balls clocking like a glockenspiel up on the clip. Clock.
Yeah, man. You better bring this one home, shawty.
Match.
So it's really important to me that my partner is someone who is dependable. It's not afraid of commitment. I love that you said that one of your kind of models for a relationship is your parents because they've been together for so long. In your life, maybe even in work, like what are some instances like where you're dependent on or like, yeah,
Now, why are we doing this? See, evidently, to me, this ain't a match. I don't think she really want him. So she's just trying to find it out. Man, he said he put his whole spill out there. He won a family. He has no kids. First off, he has no kids. He has a job working on stadium lights. That's gotta at least be $100K, especially if he's designing them and not doing the physical labor. So he's probably making really good money. He's 35. Like, what's the issue? He has the means to maneuver. You know, y'all aren't overly far away. I don't know what it is, Dallas to Atlanta, but that can't be 7 hours by car or something. So it's probably like a 2 hour flight. Like, come on. Like, you right there at the finish line. You right there. Don't interview the guy now. Oh my goodness.
where you're dependent on or like have a little more responsibility, like.
And then it's this generic interview question. This is the reason why I said like I wouldn't go on for a first date. I wouldn't go on a what do you call that? Like a dinner date, because you're gonna get this interview. This is the interview question for a job. Tell me about a time when you were dependent on to do something, and what steps did you take? You know what I mean? Like she want, and then what's that? What they call it, the star method, where you set up this situation. Well, this was the situation. I was at work. This was the task. Put up lights. This is the action I took, and I forgot what the R means in star. And this was the resolution or reaction, or whatever. But you asking them this question now, like, oh, you right there.
Okay. An example of that right now, in my current job, I had a few people who left or, left the company. So right now it is really on my shoulders to carry my team and lead my team. So right now, they're depending on me to lead and, rebuild the department. So at this time right now, I would say my career is where I'm doing that. But also with my family, niece and nephew, brothers, I'm the youngest of two siblings, and ironically, I think everyone looks to me for a lot of things. So, I'm always there for them, and I have a big family, and, we're just a close-knit family who sticks beside each other. So we're just always there for one another. That's, how I was raised.
Okay.
Okay. Which I felt like you could have got from his whole spill about his family, but whatever. Okay, are we good now? You know what I mean?
You ugly motherfucker.
Okay, can we get back to, is this a match?
You good?
I am good. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
No. I mean, we didn't talk about it, but no kids either, or do you
No
have kids? Yeah, so.
You don't have any kids?
No,
Okay.
I do not.
Okay. Well, let me ask my final question then, y'all. Is it a yes for you for him?
It's a yes for me.
And is it a yes for you for her?
It's a yes for me.
We got a match. I'll take the mic. Go ahead and get your girl. Make some noise for them, ladies.
Yeah, that's a nice shout out to CGA. He would say that's a nice piece of calico. Shout out to Coach Gang. I am a Coach Gang member, so I do be in the chat. I donate, so shout out to CG. I do donate to him, not overly often, but I don't really catch him live. I prefer to do it live. I'm always like, if I do donate, it's going to be because I'm always like a day behind of his, because he puts out 2 live streams a day. I'm always like a day behind, so I'm always like 2 episodes behind. So if I do donate to him, I ain't about to watch that until at least a day and a half later. So, but anyway, shout out to him, He got him a joint. And that was the finest girl there. So to me, in my opinion. So yeah, man, shout out to you.
You ugly motherfucker.
Anyway, since that's gonna be all, that's gonna be it for this Pot the Balloon and Find Love. And I'm gonna get this joint uploaded. And yeah, you know. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, man.
You ugly motherfucker.
Cause y'all don't be like, commenting, or subscribing. Y'all just be watching my shit. I'm looking at my analytics. Okay. 25 to 35, 45% of my audience. Damn near 50%. The other one is like 18 to 25, whatever that is. 50%. So I'm like, all right, you know, and it's all US. Some people watch my shorts and stuff in Germany. I'm like, I don't know how y'all get my shorts over there anyway. But yeah, you know. With that being said, I'm getting ready to end this Pop the Balloon to Find Love. And yeah, I'm gonna see y'all back here tomorrow. We got I'm gonna do probably kicking it with Too Cold or whatever, the joint Pop the Balloon in Indianapolis or the girl in St. Louis. So Love Mountain probably come with hers tomorrow anyway. But yeah, man. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.
You ugly motherfucker.